High in the glaciers of the Tibetan Plateau, at an elevation of over 5,300 meters, a river is born from the ice. By the time it reaches its mouth, the Brahmaputra is among the 5 largest rivers on Earth by water volume. It is the lifeblood of 130 million people, providing the water necessary for the agriculture and survival of 3 separate nations. This creates a one-way geographic reality. Because the river flows from the highest elevations down to the sea, every drop reaching the plains below must first pass through territory controlled by the source nation. In December 2024, China officially approved construction of a mega dam on the upper reaches of the river in Tibet, at a location known as the Great Bend. At the Great Bend, the river carves through the world's deepest gorge, dropping nearly 2,000 meters in elevation over a distance of just 50 kilometers. This chart compares the scale of the project to existing infrastructure. China's Three Gorges Dam is currently the world's largest power station at 22.5 gigawatts. This new project is designed for 60 gigawatts, nearly triple the capacity of any dam in existence. The project carries a price tag of $137 billion. It is the most expensive single infrastructure commitment in history, with a target completion date of 2035. Beijing maintains that the dam's sole purpose is clean energy production. However, a structure of this scale creates a physical tap, allowing the operator to regulate the flow of water into the countries below. There is no legal framework in place to manage this power. India currently has no binding water-sharing treaty or formal agreement with China regarding the Brahmaputra. This topographical map shows the river's path descending from the Tibetan Plateau directly into Arunachal Pradesh. This same border region saw the deadly 2020 Galwan Valley clash. China claims all of Arunachal Pradesh, and their new mega dam sits just upstream of this militarized border. Placing the world's largest dam at a contested border point effectively weaponizes geography, giving Beijing direct physical control over a river that India considers a national security priority. India has responded with a massive infrastructure buildup of its own. New Delhi is planning 13 dams on the river's tributaries to establish its own strategic leverage. The 10-gigawatt Siang Upper Dam is being fast-tracked as a direct countermeasure to China's construction upstream. Beyond the water itself, India is accelerating the construction of all-weather roads and tunnels, like the Sela Tunnel, to ensure the military can reach the border at high speed in any season. India is also utilizing its satellite constellation to maintain real-time surveillance on Chinese engineering activity in the Himalayas. The traditional border skirmish is being replaced by a race of concrete. In this environment, whoever builds their infrastructure faster gains the strategic high ground. At the very bottom of this system sits Bangladesh. This satellite view of the river delta shows how the nation is composed of hundreds of waterways that all depend on the flow from above. Bangladesh is roughly 80% floodplain. With no mountains of its own and no military presence on the Tibetan Plateau, it has zero leverage over how the river is managed at its source. A 60-gigawatt dam upstream gives China the ability to regulate water volume during droughts or trigger artificial floods during the monsoon season. In a nation already prone to natural disasters, this control can turn an environmental crisis into a man-made catastrophe. The power dynamics are clear. China has a megadam, India has an army, and Bangladesh is left with no seat at the table. This is a conflict fought without traditional weaponry. There are no missiles in the air and no soldiers crossing the line of control. Instead, the stability of an entire region is being decided by the placement of concrete gates and the regulation of water flow. Control over the Brahmaputra has become the primary metric of power in the Himalayas. As these dams reach completion, the fate of 130 million people will no longer be determined by the weather, but by the nation that controls the source.